Say hello to the hookup. The Hookup is a dynamic, engaging, and interactive program that talks the talk with your audiences when it comes to sexual assault prevention.
I really love the Hookup because I find it to be really just a really helpful conversation because it allows kind of the pressure, I think, to be lifted from audience members.
The program explores today's hookup culture, from the way we talk about it to the way it goes down.
Basically, what we are trying to do is to get our audiences to question their assumptions about the nature of interpersonal violence, to intervene whenever they can to support a friend or someone they don't even know, and not to let those biases and those preconceptions get in their way.
The Hookup works with audiences of 25 to groups of 300. With one seasoned educator leading the presentation, the program encourages conversations not only highlighting what good consent looks like, but also encourages audiences to take a stand against sexual violence. Let's all build a safer community together. At the start of the program, the group discusses language and stereotypes and how they affect the conversation surrounding sexual violence.
My name is Tori. My pronouns are she, her. So I want us to approach this conversation with curiosity as opposed to judgment, because you might hear some things that you haven't heard before. I'm going to be coming to you and asking you for some words, okay? And if you use these words sometimes, release yourself from any shame or guilt, right? I'm asking you for these, okay? Words that society calls women who have sex. Go ahead, raise your hand, tell me some words here, right here. Slut, absolutely. We got slut. Harlot. We love a 1920s reference, baby. Yeah, all right, same question. What are some words that we use to describe men who have sex? Yeah, player, totally. The man, totally, yeah. The man. Woof, okay, cool. Yeah, so y'all take a moment, take a look at both of these lists. I think a lot of the words on the men's list do have that kind of positive connotation, right? And then the women's list, not so much. These words carry a little bit of shame, right? That's really interesting. Because did I ask a different question? Sure didn't. It's a double standard, right? That's what we're talking about there, right? Wherein we have the same sort of question asked, we're looking at the same thing, but based on identity, we're given different answers that are sometimes opposing. Gender non-conforming, non-binary, and trans friends, regardless of how they identify, if any of these words are applied to them, it's actually gonna be the words on the women's list. So regardless of if they identify as female, we are associating them with the words that don't have power and have shame.
In the next section, the facilitator leads a conversation looking at the differences between a good hookup and a bad hookup. Within lies a facilitation further breaking down consent and differentiating sexual violence.
So we're gonna start with what is a good hookup? So raise your hand, tell me what are some elements of a good hookup? Experience or skill, right? Yeah. Mutual attraction, we got it at the same time. Wow, attraction. Now with communication and context, there's another big C word we're looking for too. Consent, wow! So first off, I love this idea of a yes, okay? But before you get an answer to a question, what do you have to do first? Yeah, you have to ask a question. Yeah, totally. And you may get a yes, or you may get like any other answer to a question, right? Bodies, sometimes we communicate differently, right? But you can always go back to that verbal. If your partner stops, what should you do? Yeah, duh. And then what should you do after that? Ask questions, check in, right? Because stop doesn't necessarily mean like stop, you're harming me, right? It could be like, stop, I didn't know you had a cat and it's with us now, right? Stop, your toe is in my eye, right? Stop, I just heard someone come in, I didn't know that your mom lived here, right? It could be anything, right? All right, now let's move on to the bad hookup, okay? What are some elements of a bad hookup? Yeah, kind of like missed context, like we weren't looking for the same thing, yeah. Y'all, do we think that there is consent in a bad hookup or not? A bad hookup might not be the best decision you ever made, okay? Might not be the choice of the ages, but it is a choice you made. Even though it wasn't maybe the best decision you ever made, it was still a decision, a choice that you made. So there is absolutely 100% consent in a bad hookup, because y'all, if there wasn't, we're actually going to make a third list here, right? And that list, that's gonna have no consent on it.
The last section is a call to action, breaking down hookup culture with the hookup cycle. Then recognizing that we all have the power to intervene and make a difference.
One of the, I think, most beneficial and richest parts of the conversation in the hookup is when we literally talk about the hookup cycle. And we go to the audience and we ask them to name this cycle and name how people meet and how people become intimate and sort of what are those steps that we all can recognize. And everyone is able to identify what this cycle is, which tells us something really important, is that we're all able to see when that cycle is being used in a negative way or being used for harm. And here are the places where I can step up and insert myself and really be a person who changes that culture. Because it really is, every time someone intervenes, that's what they're doing.